Hello, and welcome to another Monday night stream. I'm still not used to the idea that I'm close to the end of the book. But there we go. Brogan, hello, welcome. It's going alright. I done a lot of work on chapter 28 already. But I saved the last batch of motion capture for today to go on to do on stream. Metcalf, hello, welcome. Hold on a second. Felt like something in my eye, but it's right. Crazy, hello. Hope you all caught up with chapter 25. Alright, let's load up the first. Let's see what we got. Let's start with the major. It's getting pretty warm here, so even though it's midnight and it's cooled down, it's still quite toasty in this room. I might slow down production on 28 a bit because it's hard to do any rendering when it's this hot. I kind of prefer to keep my computer switched off during the hottest parts of the day. Excuse me. So yeah, put it in the fridge. I'm tempted to put myself in the fridge. Thank you, that's very kind. So yeah, got back to motion capture. This is for chapter 28. Obviously I finished 26 and 27. 26 gets released on Thursday, 27 the following week. So I've done all the motion capture for 28. I just need to process it, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll see how. I don't know if I'll get through all of the remaining motion capture on the stream tonight, but let's see how far we get. So the first thing to do is, well, that's not working. Let's just play it. Alright, so it starts off looking a bit weird because that's me pressing my phone to listen to the scene, so I could, act out accordingly. I know that this foot here is backwards. Oh, and it just twitched up. Do you think we'll see Thrawn in the next episode of Ahsoka? I really hope so. I get the impression that when he first appears, it's going to be the very end of the episode. As a cliffhanger. You know, you see in the trailer when he walks onto the bridge of the Eye of Sion. I think that's going to be his introduction, and and then it'll be the credits. Right, so starting again. Different take. I've done multiple takes of this. So yeah, the foot's slightly off. That's easy to fix once it's in iClone. Kind of like in the second take more than the first one. But we'll go through them all. I don't know why the foot was sticking out like that. It's probably something I should look into, because it does happen from time to time. Kind of like how we saw Luke. Yeah. But hopefully without the 2-year break between when we saw Luke and when we saw the rest of that scene. You retracted your message, but I did see it. It's important for me to get things right. What's your opinion of Sabine being force sensitive? I think it's been quite clearly demonstrated that she is not force sensitive. I think she wants to live the lifestyle of a Jedi, but she can't use the Force, and that's part of the problem. Are you gonna have to write to see where they get shot in the foot? I could do that, but it'd be much easier just to fix it in iClone. If you look now, the foot's actually in the correct position. I do remember when I was doing this, the second last take, which is the one we're watching now, is the one that I was happiest with. Got that glitch there, but I can fix that in iClone. And that one. We'll watch the last one just in case. It's important to me to get things right. I know that in the earlier chapters there are definitely things that I could improve, like animation quality and so on. So at some point I'll do the special edition re-render and all of that. But obviously I need to finish the book first. I think I might actually go for this last take. Does everyone have the Force in the Star Wars universe? So my understanding is everyone is connected to the Force, because the Force is in all living things, so everyone's connected to it. But not everyone can wield it. Forget all the drama about Disney, let's just enjoy how the Star Wars season still can be with these fan projects. Well, one of the things that I've got a lot of joy out of with this is when people have come to Star Wars through the prequels or Clone Wars, all the Disney stuff. That was their introduction, and they come across Heir to the Empire, and they didn't know the book existed, or they did but they never got around to reading it, and they watched some of whatever chapters I'd put out at the time, and said it made them want to go out and buy the book because they wanted to see the story or read the story. So for me, I like everyone, Disney fans or not, to be welcome here, because for these stories to live on, more people have to experience them, and so chasing Disney fans away isn't going to do that. You need to say, look, this stuff exists, it's worth having a look at. And if they don't want to, that's up to them as well. Then, okay, hey, just hopping to chat to tell you I really appreciate the amazing content you put out. Keep up the good work. Why, thank you. I appreciate that you're enjoying all this content I put out. General Kenobi. I had to say that. Alright, let's watch this again. Nothing against Disney fans, I just meant the corporate drama stuff. Well, yeah, I stay away from the corporate drama stuff. Well said, Darth. Maybe you're a Jedi pretending to be a Darth. Don't tell anyone. Right, I'm happy with that last take actually, so that's what I'm going to use. So, let's export that. Don't think you can see the options coming up. Okay, that one's done. This last, well, it's the last scene of chapter 28, and all of this motion capture support. It's got a huge number of characters in it. It's going to be quite an interesting challenge to animate it all, but I'm looking forward to it. Second part of the Major's motion capture, so let's have a look. Again, touching my phone to listen to the recording of the dialogue, so make sure I get all the performance right. I should probably turn it around to the front, since this is where you're going to see the character. What's your next project when Heir to the Empire is done? I think the first thing I'm going to do is go back and re-render all the early stuff to match the quality of the more recent chapters. Just watched chapter 25. I have to say, you did an excellent job. Looking forward to the next chapter. You won't have long to wait for the next chapter. It's coming on Thursday. AFK, hello, welcome. I saw your recent video on Hyllyard City. For those who don't know, AFK does some excellent Star Wars videos with Unreal, and go check out their channel. I mean to ask, how do you do your motion capture? Do you have a suit or an AI solution? I use a suit. It's a Perception Neuron 1, so it's quite an old suit now. Obviously the newer ones are better, but I can't afford a newer one. But yeah, this motion capture I'm doing here, I did this in my living room. It's the biggest space I've got available to me. I haven't actually looked into AI for motion capture. I was looking into the 2 iPhone solution. I don't know too much about that approach, I'm afraid. I do really like the suit. I think there are obviously some issues with the suit being as old as it is now. I've used it a lot, so it does kind of glitch out. I need to see if there are some solutions to those. Yeah, this is the one I'm going to use. I believe the newest suits are wireless. The suit I've got, there's a wire between every single sensor. I was a little bit concerned that I'm going to pull it out of the socket and then have to put the suit back on or reconfigure the suit, because there's a calibration thing where you have to stand in several different poses. I need to come up with something. Building motions from scratch is too time consuming. Yeah, that's why I one of the reasons I got the suit is for a different Star Wars project called Imperials, which you can find on my channel. There were multiple lightsaber duels in it, and all I was using for my videos at that point were stock animations that came with iClone, or free ones I'd got from, I can't remember the name of the site. It was a motion capture animation site, and they were going to shut down, so they put everything available for free. So I just went and downloaded everything, and I still haven't sorted through because I downloaded hundreds of stock animations. So that was what I was using before, but there's nothing suitable for a lightsaber duel. So I saved up and got the suit and started using it. First for in limited use, and I was mixing in with the stock animations. But then I did an experiment. Excuse me, just got a quick drink of water. I did a short video as an experiment where I did the entire thing with motion capture, all the conversations and everything, and I was so pleased with the completely unique look to the video, because that performance was something I did for the two characters that talk. I think I did some background characters as well, I can't remember now. That, you know, if you have stock animations, you know that other people are going to use them in their projects, and that's fine, that's the way it's supposed to be. But having something that look completely unique to your own film was a huge thrill, so I've started doing it for everything. Except stunt stuff, because I'm not going to throw myself around. Or, you know, anything that's going to damage the suit or me, because obviously the suit's quite expensive. I don't know if the newer suits are sturdier, but this Perception Neuron 1 wouldn't take it. Yeah, that's what I need. It's kind of sad that Anakin wasn't able to use his full potential, or else he could have been beyond the Mortis gods. I think that's part of the appeal Anakin had. For Palpatine, as he knew that Anakin was this super powerful being, and if he turned into make him a Sith Lord, he'd be a very powerful Sith Lord. And obviously, he lost some of his ability when he caught fire and had to turn into a cyborg. He's obviously still very powerful, but never reached his full potential. And of course, he never was fully trained as a Jedi. I've been using a mixture of mix and mo. That's the one. That was the site. But I think I used all the best motions. Yeah, that does happen after a while. You kind of used everything. That's one of the other things I was getting frustrated with, is how many times can you use the same conversation animations before your videos look the same, even if the characters are doing something completely different, or talking about something completely different. But yeah, I'm afraid I don't know too much about the 2 iPhone approach, so I can't really offer you any help there. But I'd be very interested to see what you do. Actually, using the most... let me start again. Using the perception neuron suit, it does have the option to capture the performance directly into animation. So I use iClone, so I can run iClone and then put the suit on, it'll capture straight into that. But I find that using this software called Axis Neuron comes free with the suit. You get a better result doing it this way. I don't know about other motion capture suits, they obviously have their own software, but this way you get a much smoother performance, and you can also do the corrections. Zoom in a little bit. It's a timeline. So the darker grey is when there's contact feet are on the ground, and lighter grey, you see here, the foot's lifted up. Now I don't fully understand how this works, but I mean I kind of get the gist of it. But if you watch here, there's a little slight glitch here where the foot touches it's got ground contact, lifts up again, and then goes back down. Now when I did this motion, I did not do that, but you get little glitches where that happens, and it makes the animation a little bit unsteady. This is probably not the best example of it, but you know, if you look at the leg, they kind of twitch a little bit here. So you can fix that by highlighting part of the gap and a little bit on either side to make sure you get the whole thing. Now I've right clicked and I pressed uncontact, so now it's a little bit smoother. Still slightly off, but you can do that in this software. You can't do it in iClone. I don't know about Unreal because I don't know too much about it. How long until you get chapter 30 done? I do not know the answer to that question. I finished up to 27. 26 gets released on Thursday, 27 next week. This is 28 I'm working on, and there are 32 in the book. It's basically setting up 2 or more iPhones on stands to film a motion, and they can create 3D skeletons from that. Intriguing. So is this the iPhones that have the Face ID technology in? Because I know that allows iPhones to scan depth, so it's not just a picture and figure out the motion, it can actually figure out the 3D shape of something. Right, so this is Luke, so let's go back to the beginning and watch the 2. There's something about the iPhone camera that can read. Yeah, it's the iPhones that have the Face ID technology. I was kind of curious how it works, and it's the security feature that's supposed to scan your face to make sure you really are you, and then it will unlock your phone when you're trying to use it. But it's good for cameras taking pictures and 3D scanning and stuff like that. Some of the iPads have that feature as well, because it can be cheaper to buy 2 iPads than it can be to buy 2 iPhones. Of course, the iPads are much bigger, so you kind of counter it that way. I don't remember which iPad models offhand have that feature though. It's actually really great with Live Link for live facial animation in iClone. That is something that I've been intrigued by because I tried it with the webcam and the results were not that great. Motion Live. I forget what all the plugins are as well, so don't worry about it. I knew which one you meant. Because that same range of plugin allows me to use the motion capture suite. I just prefer not to. I prefer to do it this way. But obviously that doesn't do facial animation. Just this. It's something that I'd like to experiment with. I think this is going to be the take I use. Let's watch to the end to make sure. Oh, there's a little glitch there. Let's watch the last one to see what happens. Just running the dialogue through my head as I'm watching this as well. It should all fit because I was obviously listening to it when I did it. Alright, let's go back and watch the second one again. I think I'm actually going to use this third one. I can fix the little leg glitch in iClone, so that's not a problem. Now, some of the stuff I fix here, some of it I fix in iClone, so that's an iClone one. There we go. It's set the smooth, these settings. Spent a lot of time experimenting with different settings to find what gets the balance right between smooth and being so smooth it looks a little bit weird, because you can overdo it and then the motion looks wrong somehow, like they're moving through water, I guess is the best way to describe it. Yeah, that's going to be the one I use. Save this one. I realise this is probably not the most thrilling thing to be watching, but it's an important step because I can't animate the scene without it. It's either doing the robot or it's T1000 in liquid form. Don't you love it? Yeah, it does kind of look like the T1000. Next one is Mara. Let's watch this one. I'll be using Mara as well in a future episode. Oh, I can't wait to see what you do with Mara. I'll be watching out for her appearance. Not quite sure what I was doing there, but obviously touching my... Oh, I remember. I pressed play and it didn't play. So I started getting into position and nothing happened, so I went to go back and investigate it. That was messy. And again. Did you see the 3D model I posted? I have not. Why did you post that? I'll have to have a look. I don't think I'll be using this one. It's a little bit too glitchy. So that's alright, we'll move on to the next take. One of the things one of my friends posted a couple of weeks ago is a behind the scenes video for the new Ghostbusters movie, and they're using Unreal to do the city traffic scenes, and they showed this video of the XO1 going through the city dodging traffic, and then they did a behind the scenes thing where they showed they talked about Unreal and why they were doing it that way rather than doing live action. And talking about real-time animation and all of that. But they also had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and so they had someone in a motion capture suit performing that those animations, that movement. And I was watching the video, I thought, this is exactly what I do, except they have more money and a proper studio space. Pepito, hello, just passing to say hi, tell you excellent work, as always, love it. Your English is rather good, so you have nothing to be sorry for, and thank you very much. Always nice to know my work's appreciated. Although I think I'm going for the middle take, but No, actually I'm going to use this take. This is the one. A little bit of a glitch there. I'll watch through the middle one again just to see. Right, here we go. Middle one again. As fun as this all is, sometimes it is a little bit tedious, so having you guys to talk to while I'm doing it makes it more fun. Yeah, I'm going to use the middle take. That's the bit I want to check again. Zoom in here. Just remove those little gaps. Actually got come back, better look here. Master Luke, hello, welcome. I think most of you know by now Master Luke voices Luke Skywalker in Heir to the Empire. I was actually doing some of Luke's motion capture data just before Mara. Let's have a look. Yeah, kind of start that. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy with Mara. Smooth that out. Export. All right. I'm going to do one more tonight. Just looking back at the chat, George Lucas said all people have the Force, which makes perfect sense. It's the Force is made by living beings, even plants and animals have the Force. Yeah. So every living being in the galaxy is connected to the Force that way, but not every living being can wield the Force. It takes a certain amount of sensitivity to it. So you've got some Stormtrooper animation here. I remember getting that one wrong. But your talent honestly varies from person to person. Everyone has very little talents, but he had to work exceptionally hard to be as good as he was. Yeah. So everyone never really struck me as someone who's hugely powerful in the Force. Obviously, he could use it. Michael Jordan was the same. He didn't make the team at first, so he had to bust himself to get the skill. My knowledge of Michael Jordan is quite limited. I know he's a basketball player, and that's about it. Weirdly, I think the first one was the best one. But yeah, hold on. What's it doing? Oh, I think what I did here is I did both stormtroopers at the same time. Actually, I think I'm going to stop doing that for this evening. Or actually, is there any quicker ones I could do? Oh yeah. The Stormtrooper one requires a bit more brain power than I actually have this evening to figure out which one's which. It's expected, given what's said about Pursuing, that her progress and talent will be next to none, so she can barely manage a force step or nudge. That would be within normal expectations. Yeah. I think obviously she knew Kanan and she knew Ezra, and at the end of Rebels, Ezra gives her his lightsaber, and I think she wants to. She was haunted by a loss of Ezra and Kanan in such a short space of time, so she thought she would honour Ezra by becoming a Jedi, but she can't because she doesn't have enough sensitivity to the Force to be able to use it. But she still wants to learn sort of the Jedi lifestyle. And you know what it means to be a Jedi and all of that, even if she can't use the Force itself. So it's really nice to understand that the Jedi, like cooks and musicians, all have the capability, but talent is part of it. Yeah. Sabine even asks at some point if everyone is connected to the Force. I don't remember the exact words, but why doesn't everyone use it? And Ahsoka just kind of looks at her because she doesn't have an answer to that one. That's what I remember in the scene. I can't remember what I was doing for this scene. I think I'm getting tired, so I'm not thinking about it. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah, I'm not going to do any more because I'm getting pretty tired. Do you think it would have been interesting if Thrawn had been able to use the Force? No. I think Timothy Zahn, when he talks about creating Thrawn, he said he wanted an enemy for the heroes who was not another Darth Vader. He did not have any Force powers, and he ruled through respect and loyalty rather than through fear. And I remember seeing something more recently where he kind of insisted that Thrawn should never be able to use the Force because it's not it would work for the character. So I'm going to go with what Timothy Zahn said with that, because he's the one that created the character. Luke says in Jedi Outcast, if The ways of the Jedi are easy, there have been millions of us instead of dozens. I'd forgotten that line. So you said it, and then I heard it in his voice. He's right. But yeah, I think I'm getting a bit too tired to concentrate on what I'm doing, so I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. It's not quite an hour, but close enough. 50 minutes is pretty good. You heard it in my voice. Yeah, so I see what you did there. But yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Yeah, I'm just too tired to concentrate on picking up the right takes, so I'll continue with it off stream. It was great, Darth. Have a great night. Well, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope to see you all on Thursday for chapter 26, and you'll be able to hear more of Master Luke's voice. Because that chapter is entirely focused on Luke and Mara. So you'll find the premiere date for your respective time zones on the channel. If you go and find the video, it will tell you exactly when it's going to be. So yeah, that's it. Take care. See you all Thursday, and then at the next stream. May the Thrawn be with you. Have a good night and take care.